So I don't know if you could see it because it's dark, but that's my apartment complex. Anytime it's like really early in the morning or late at night like this, I push my bike from all the way over there. I mean, it's a little bit of a downhill, so it's not that bad, but all the way from down there, all the way up to here. Then I start it and let it warm up. That's called being considerate. Next door neighbor has a newborn baby, so not trying to disturb anyone. Lol. Alright. So I have an interesting topic to talk about. This is probably going to set some people off because it goes against what they think and what they believe, but it's food for thought for anyone who's interested. And why I don't say I'm sorry, and why I'm not sorry. And it sounds kind of weird, but an example would be like if I'm walking past somebody and I bump into them or I brush past them, I don't say, most people would say I'm sorry, and I don't like saying that. I don't like saying I'm sorry. And it's not because I'm a jerk, it's not because I'm perfect. Things do happen every day. But I think there's a difference between being apologetic and saying I'm sorry. I'm a big believer in mindset, and what you talk about and what you think you kind of manifest into your actual life. So when you say I'm sorry, you're telling your subconscious mind that you're a sorry person. You're saying I'm sorry, and I just don't want to think of myself as a sorry person. I don't think that's a healthy mindset to have. Talk about yourself negatively. And like I said, there's definitely a difference between being apologetic and saying I'm sorry. And I just realized I forgot to button my helmet, and that's what's slapping up and hitting everything. I didn't zip up my jacket either. There's the airport, DFW International Airport. There's the observation deck, they call it. You can watch the, I guess it's the northwest side of the airport, so the northwest runway here. It's where the big planes come out of for international flights, so that's kind of cool. Alright, let's go. Where was I? Alright, so I just don't think telling yourself that I'm sorry is a good mindset to have. I don't like thinking of myself as a negative or I don't like thinking of myself as a sorry person. Like I definitely wouldn't stand in the mirror. This bike does not like low RPMs. I don't stand in the mirror and tell myself I'm sorry. Definitely not a sorry ass person. So that brings up the question, what do you do when you wrong somebody? If you're, obviously, I hope it's an accident. I hope you're not an asshole that's out there purposely hurting people. And if you are, not hanging around you. Say, okay, we'll use a very specific example. Say we're walking down the sidewalk. Two people, you and then a person coming at you. Say you step on their foot accidentally. Instead of saying I'm sorry, because in all honesty, I'm sorry doesn't do anything. I'm sorry doesn't take back time. I'm sorry doesn't go back and watch where you're walking so you don't step on their foot. It's just, it's not useful for you, and it's definitely not useful for the other person. You can apologize, say, oh, I apologize, that was not my intention to hurt you. But really, ask if they're okay. What can you do for them at that point? What can you do from them at that point forward? What's done is already done. You've already stepped on their foot. Could be in pain. You could have messed up their shoe. So, if you would like, I would say, I apologize. It was not my intention to cause you any harm or inconvenience you. But what can I do to help with the situation now going forward? Make it productive. Don't just sit there and, when you say I'm sorry, it kind of puts you at a lower level than that person. You say, oh, I'm sorry for doing this. You're telling them the reason you did it is because you're a sorry person. And it may not seem what it is to most people, and it's probably very commonly overlooked. But I think what you tell yourself and your mindset and the way you speak to yourself and the way you speak to others is very important. You may not think it's making a big difference on your life, but it very well can in your subconscious mind. So like I said, going forward, instead of being sorry, you can apologize if you'd like, but figure out what you can do to help them going forward. Say, oh, can I get you some ice for your foot that I just stepped on? Or send me the bill for cleaning your shoes. I'll take care of it, because it was my fault. And it may not seem like much, and it really isn't a big deal at all. But it's the little thing that adds up. It's compound interest over time. If you can, if you talk to yourself in a different way, if you express your thoughts more constructively towards yourself and towards others, it kind of becomes a habit, and you quit thinking of yourself as a negative. You quit thinking of yourself negatively. You don't bring yourself down, I guess you could say. Ooh, that was a nice catch.